Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Ephemeral Orb, the TTRPG series that we're doing. Last episode was crazy, but that was kind of the vibe for like the last 3-4+ episodes, to be perfectly honest. But before we get into that, I would like to have before we get into our players introducing themselves, usual reminder, this episode will be posted on Sir Thompshire's channel. The next episode, after this one, will be posted on my channel, Teeironor. You can find all our links in the description. And the one after that will be posted on Skoll Shorties channel. Again, link in the description. Then on Thompshire's again, etc, etc. Again, just reminding because there have been some confusion at some points in the comments. But yeah, I would then like to ask our players, as usual, to introduce themselves. DoomGoblin, the dwarf who cried wolf, again. Could you please introduce
Hello.
yourself?
Hello everyone. My name is DoomGoblin and I'm playing dwarf pirate captain, Captain Bladebeard, who is in Westfall again. And he's having fun, a lot of fun there.
Fun little world, isn't it?
Yeah.
Next is the owner of this channel, Sir Thompshire.
I'm Sir Thompshire, and I'm playing Benjamin Aaran, a sellsword that honestly hasn't done much sword selling lately, but he's kind of in a bit of trouble at the moment, so yeah.
True. And next would be Skoll.
Hello, I am Skoll Shorties, and I am playing the lovable pirate ogre Buhd, who is great at smashing down doors and having ideas, I guess.
And yelling madly. And he was kind of the hero of last time because, you immediately decided to run back to the ship and try to rescue Bladebeard. Good on you.
Yeah, he's the first mate. I mean, I guess he's acting captain again, though, so...
Speaking of which, to get into the recap of the last episode, I would like to ask the owner of the channel you guys are watching on, Sir Thompshire, if you could read last episode's recap.
Yeah, let me just open the tab and So, after a brief and unproductive conversation with the Loa Shango in their dreams, who informed them that the Horde is frantically searching the ocean for them with 5 ships, of which 2 have disappeared, and the demons are about 2 weeks away from their target in the jungle. And our heroes once again woke up in Golden Skoll, again after way too many sessions. Captain Bladebeard and First Mate Buhd went off to collect recognizable items from Lord Roswell's deceased operatives, with mixed results. And then the pirate captain promptly used the Hearthstone given to him, and he teleported himself to the nobleman's estate in Westfall, while Buhd frantically returned to the ship looking for help. And meanwhile, Benjamin and Mary de Frostfall had a heart-to-heart talk in a secluded spot on the island. But, unfortunately for Bladebeard, Shallan had neglected to tell him that the trackers that Roswell's mage had placed on their arms were also audio transmitters, information which the elf revealed to Buhd on the Moonsong's folly, and as a result of Captain Bladebeard's somewhat unkind words about Lord Roswell, he was promptly taken in and interrogated after returning to the nobleman's estate. Fortunately, he managed to escape death and somewhat convinced Lord Roswell that they were still on the same side, but the cautious nobleman proceeded to lock Bladebeard up regardless, as a part of a ploy to lure the pirate's friends, including Benjamin Aaran, to a trap. And meanwhile, as Benjamin, Meridia, and Buhd reunited on the ship after sending Shallan away, they decided to ask Captain Kyrie's help, only to once again find their door barred by Vera, the undead security chief. after, after Come After polymorphing her and storming the door, Buhd and Benjamin found Kyrie in discussion with a renowned figure, Archmage Khadgar of the Teeironor.
Indeed. And that is exactly where we left off. And now we have a Vera sheep token, which you can all see on screen. So yeah, I think it's only fair to continue from like last week's cliffhanger of you guys storming in Kyrie's quarters and her looking angry at you, and projection of Khadgar, who was clearly in discussion with her, noticing you, I suppose. Yeah, before like we get like the NPC's reaction, I'd like to hear what's going through Benjamin and Buhd's heads at the moment.
Well, we kind of talked about this before, but I don't think at least Benjamin would recognize Khadgar as he is now, so he'll just be kind of confused for now.
Actually, Benjamin, roll for me a careful, but it will be difficulty 6 because to recognize him. Because, like we talked, he's shaved. slash roll. As we talk, yeah. If you want to spend a fate point, you can recognize him. If not, that's okay.
I think it would make more sense for him not to recognize him.
That's fair. But yeah, I was saying, yeah, unlike his statue, he is clean shaven, but there obviously would be a resemblance, but that's why the roll would be difficult. Yeah. But what are you thinking at the moment?
Buhd he wants to wonder why she's talking to a ghost. 'Cause that's what Buhd thinks Khadgar is right now.
Yeah. Half transparent. He's also supposed to be glowing a little blue. Yeah. Well,
Very ghosty.
Yeah. Also a reminder that the Archmage was holding the line outside, but she can't hold it for very long, and she frantically urged you guys to run in, get Kyrie to calm everyone down before everyone proceeds to murder you guys for intruding into her room. But yeah, at your guys' intrusion, last episode Kyrie grumbled a bit, but you see like an uncharacteristic look of anger in her face, and you guys notice that she is preparing to cast a spell against you guys.
Don't fire. We here because it's very urgent.
Busy means busy. And at this point, the figure that you guys correctly identified as Khadgar will say, Now, Kyrie, if these are the people you talked to me about, I think it's quite good that they showed up. I was meaning to ask to talk to them anyway. You guys also hear the frantic shouting from outside, and the Archmage yells, "Could you guys hurry up in there?"
Well, I hate to be asking something after intruding, but could you calm everyone down? We might have polymorphed someone outside and made a huge wall of ice.
Would bust down door.
You still see anger in Kyrie's eyes, but after like 2 seconds she sighs in frustration and without like saying anything walks out to presumably calm everyone down. You guys are left alone with this gentleman who sort of looks at the two of you, like sort of examining you, looking you up and down. Benjamin, Aaran, I presume, and Buhd, correct?
Yeah, that would be me. Who do we have the pleasure of talking to?
Oh, go ahead, Buhd, go ahead.
Yes, that is Bud's name. Ghost.
The projection will chuckle at that, and he will then turn to you, Benjamin, and say, I'm nobody really. No, maybe you've heard of me. Archmage Khadgar, Sons of Lothar, the Kirin Tor, the invasion of Draenor, all that good stuff. And he smiles at you.
Oh, well, it's a pleasure to be in your presence.
The pleasure is all mine. He will look at Bud and say, I presume you don't know about me. But he's still like smiling, like, yeah.
Nope, Bud does not know you.
Yeah. Now we can hear you. Yeah. Okay. Khadgar will smile at you, and he will say, Kyrie's been telling me quite a bit about you and your situation. Well, quite frankly, it's your situation is the reason we were talking in the first place. Meanwhile, you guys would hear like the screams from outside dying down, and a frustrated-looking Kyrie and an archmage will also enter the room. Kyrie says nothing but silently returns to her chair. The archmage, when she enters the room, sort of recoils in shock when she sees who Kyrie was talking to. And Khadgar will say, "Oh, stand down, Archmage. I know you are probably expecting good old Answerim, but he's busy with another errand at the moment." The Archmage sort of has a look of shock and like looks at Benjamin and Bud to see what their reactions are.
I kind of shrug at her, still kind of shocked at who is kind of, well, before us, and, well, not literally before us, but you get it.
Yeah.
Bud gives her a thumbs up.
She continues to like stare, surprised, but like composes herself and says, "My apologies, Archmage." Khadgar will sort of chuckle. Kyrie, frustrated, will say, "When you leave this place, Vera will certainly want to eviscerate all of you. I want you to know that."
Well, I think we came in knowing that would be the consequence, but, some stuff has happened.
I presume it's urgent given that now I have to replace my door.
Well, putting it simply, Bladebeard is gone and probably in a lot of trouble. He should be in Westfall right now.
Westfall. Both Kyrie and Khadgar say that at the same time. Khadgar says, "Bladebeard is the dwarf, right?"
Not.
Kyrie will sigh in exasperation and say, "So what happened? I presume this is more urgent than..." Well, good old Khadgar over here also wanted to talk with you, but I presume your business is more urgent.
I hate to say it, but I think it is. To cut to the chase, a while back when we defeated the Lord Roswell's minions, or whoever they were, we recovered some magical stones. What were they called again, Meridia? Do you remember?
Hearthstones.
Yes, that. And Bladebeard had the bright idea to use one of them. And apparently he met the noble who had hired me to get the artifact. He managed to return somehow. And then he's gone again. And I assume he's in a lot of trouble since he barely got out last time.
Was he kidnapped the second time?
No, but he willingly teleported himself. But we all know Bladebeard.
Why would he do that?
But you were with him, right?
But it was there, yep.
So why did Bladebeard leave again?
Oh, well, he wanted to collect heads. And Bud helped him collect heads. And then he said he had to go somewhere. And then he used magic soap to go away and go poof. And he gone after that.
So did he need the heads for something?
But guess so. He needed Bud's bag.
Huh. I assume it could be some sort of bounty, but a bounty for his own men. A bit strange.
So, this is Kyrie speaking. So, from what you're telling me, Bladebeard decided to work with this nobleman, I'm presuming. So, what's the danger?
Well, he did say he wasn't gonna work for any noble. So knowing Bladebeard is probably trying to double cross him.
But remember, way bigger, better. Shalon said that the noble guy put thingies so he could hear everybody from Shalon and Bladebeard's bodies.
You'll see Khadgar sort of like begin almost on instinct stroking his chin, and he'll say, I confess I've never heard of an application of the tracking spell like this before, but that sounds interesting.
Yeah, Bud no understand it, but Shalon said it was really bad.
Kyrie will let out an exasperated sigh, and she will say, well, and the chuckle is also like hers, as in, what the hell is this? And she will then say, so what now?
Well, that's part of the reason we came in, since we have absolutely no idea what to do.
Khadgar will say, I've met this Lord Roswell once before, in the days when we were driving the orcs back from Stormwind. He had a small army and surprisingly managed to hold on to a small piece of Westfall for all those years. Very unpleasant man, though.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with that last bit.
Khadgar will say, well, if his keep is where it was all those years ago, I have the precise coordinates and could teleport anyone there, but, well, I am on the other side of the world at the moment. And he smiles at you.
Again, I guess we're kind of out of options. And even if we could teleport there, nothing guarantees that we won't be butchered on sight, or at the very least taken prisoner.
We got Bud. Bud smash through them. Bud take down Kraken.
Khadgar will say to you, most impressive. Benjamin, you would clearly understand that he is just trying to like flatter and not being sincere, but I'm not sure if you would understand that.
See, Magic Ghost gets it. Magic Ghost knows that Bud is strong.
Kyrie will say, wait, but you mentioned that Shalon also was teleported, was taken there, or did I mishear?
Yeah, the first time both of them were teleported. So the tracker was placed on both Bladebeard and Shalon, I assume.
Well, a tracker transmits information somewhere. If you can bring Shalon before me, I could try to reverse track it.
Yeah, we can't talk. We can't talk around him. Shalan told me it'd be bad if they hear what we doing.
Khadgar will also say, in reply to Kyrie, if this is a very advanced form of spell that, as I mentioned, I've never seen or heard about before, such a clever mage would almost certainly expect, well, to be reverse tracked. Dare I say that it might even be one of this Lord Roswell's traps. The Archmage will sigh in frustration. The Archmage Meridia, I would say, will sigh in frustration and say, "What other options do we have?" Khadgar will say, "I don't suppose you could wait until tomorrow for me to finish some business, and then I can come there to Golden Skull and teleport you to this Lord Roswell."
Well, I think at this point that's probably the only viable option.
Bladebeard, not Bladebeard, DoomGoblin. I know we promised that we would have a scene with you like after this, but I would like to continue this current scene for a little bit. Is that alright?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Khadgar will nod and say, but going back to the discussion I was having with good old Kyrie Gosa here before you gentlemen burst in. She's a good friend of a friend. And Khadgar will smile. And he will say, she's been informing me about your friend Shalon and about this demon invasion. Could you tell me a little bit more about it from the horse's mouth, so to say?
Well, I'm not sure what else I can say aside from what Kyrie probably told you, but it seems that this strange artifact seems to be able to summon things, not just demons, but some kind of fish creatures and a stormwind footman and some grunts. I'm not sure what it is, to be honest. But regarding the person who has the orb itself, I think Buhd was the one who saw them.
The Archmage will turn to Buhd and he will say, could you please describe this person?
He's spooky hooded man.
Spooky
Didn't
hooded man.
Bladebeard say he thought he was a death knight or something?
Yeah, I think that's what he said.
You see surprise on both Kyrie's and Khadgar's faces, and Khadgar will say, a death knight. This, I don't know if you would know to answer this question, but do you know which type of death knight?
Well, he didn't have blue eyes. Would remember that much.
Ah, so the more dangerous kind. I see, got you. Well, that certainly changes things. But I also wanted to ask you. Khadgar looks a bit thoughtful at the moment. This, obviously a demonic invasion is nothing to scoff at. But, I should say that I don't personally know you, but I don't believe that you are lying, and I certainly trust Kyrie Gosa's word. However, there are very limited signs of demonic activity in Stranglethorn, at least from the scrying we were able to do here in Aaran. He will then turn to Meridia and he will sort of say with an apologetic tone, to be perfectly frank, it's the reason why the Council of Six decided not to lend you further assistance, Archmage. And it's why, well, I'm contacting you instead of Answerim. The rest of the Council of Six believes that this issue can be solved by the trolls and, well, you find pirates. But can you please describe how many demons are there actually?
It's been a while since we've been to Buhd Bay, but it was a lot when Bud was there.
Well, I think we saw like a couple of fell guards, some imps, maybe 2 or 3 infernals, and but again, it's very hard to know how many were summoned after we left. And I think Bud mentioned a while ago that some kind of demon showed up in front of him, and he shot his cannon at him or something. Right, Bud?
That sounded about right to Bud.
Oh, Kyrie will say, I didn't know about this. When did this happen? Says Kyrie.
It happened when when the Birdman first steel orb, we all split up.
I
Bud,
think he's asking like when we were on the island, like in Dreadnought.
oh,
I'm saying this out of character, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, Bud has the same memory that I do, so he gets confused. Probably mentioned that it was a dreadlord. That might help Bud.
Well, I don't think it describes it like in depth enough. I don't know. But I guess I can correct you in character since you're confusing the time.
Yeah, he's talking about Buhd Bay, not Golden Skull at the moment.
Yeah, and if you like go on to talk about Buhd Bay, you'll see like Kyrie and Khadgar's faces sort of relax, as in, he's still talking about Buhd Bay. There aren't demons somewhere else.
No, but here in Golden Skull, don't you remember? He kind of shot the hole.
Yeah. The gross Batman. He was trying to get Bud to they wanted us to not bother them and let the demons take over and there'd be fewer casualties, but Bud said no and shot at him, and then he ran away like baby.
Well, says Khadgar, that certainly raises the stakes, though. To be perfectly honest, I imagine that those kinds of infiltrators would be present in pretty much every major city on Azeroth, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Wait,
he was a
what?
goblin.
What did Benjamin say?
It just said, wait, what?
Khadgar will say, sort of like way too casually, yes, they tend to do that. So, now, from our end in Aaran, we are only able to determine the presence of about 100 of the demons, but we are able to sense quite a lot of fell magic in the area.
And isn't 100 demons cause for concern?
Oh, certainly, it's definitely a cause for alarm, but to put it into perspective, he will sort of frown for a little bit. Well, you're probably a bit too young to remember that, but when the orcs raised Stormwind, the very few warlocks who joined in that assault, well, there probably was at least 1,000 demons there.
I kind of just scratch my head.
So Yes, he will sort of like hurriedly correct himself and say, yes, 100 demons is a cause for concern, obviously. But I can also tell you right now, there is a demon covenant in Ashen Vale with about 500 demons. There's another one in Desolus with about 1,000. 100, while it's certainly a blip on the map, it's nevertheless just a blip.
Well, I guess comparatively to those numbers, it's not that much.
Now, I obviously take this threat very seriously, and I have already promised my assistance. But that is the reason, again, he will like shoot Meridia an apologetic look. That is the reason why the Council of Six doesn't exactly take good Meridia's requests seriously at the moment, especially with the War of the Horde going on. I'm not sure if you're aware, but there's been a recent incident in Aaran, and, well, we've been pulled into the war on the side of the Alliance. I tend to focus on other matters than the Horde at the moment, probably for the better, but nevertheless, that's why your situation hasn't received perhaps the attention it deserves.
Well, I guess with everything going on, that's somewhat understandable.
Khadgar will say, after this whole business is over, I would also like to take a look at your friend Shalon. That's actually the reason I was talking with good Karigosa here. But for now, well, as I said, I should meet you good people, tomorrow. Unfortunately, there are still matters that demand my attention over here. Is this acceptable?
I will not.
He will also look to Buhd to see what he says.
What did the ghost say again?
Meridia says sort of frustratedly, the Archmage is asking if it's acceptable that he arrive tomorrow. She will then like frantically say to Khadgar, of course, sir. Sorry, sir.
Okay. Hopefully, Bladebeard don't die. Cause, that'd be bad.
Oh, if he survived so far, I have no doubt that a pirate captain of his, let's say prestige, will do fine. And Khadgar will wink at you, and unless you want to like stop him, his projection will disappear.
Buhd would wink back.
Benjamin?
No, not really.
Okay. Yeah. Kari will sigh and like say, Khadgar's a good friend. Well, friend of a friend, to be honest. But at the moment, he is the one in the current tour that is, well, the most willing to help us at the moment. You heard him. The Archmage looks down, embarrassed.
You're a very good ghost.
That, dear Buhd, was a person from very far away. A mage, actually, she will point at Meridia, one of her bosses.
Her boss is a ghost.
Sure. Now,
Oh,
can I please ask you to put my door back?
yeah, but can try.
Yeah, we're very sorry about the door. About turning Vera into a sheep. We'll probably see the consequences of that as soon as we leave.
Probably, she says very like matter-of-factly. She will also say, either way, I imagine you already know this, but if Shallan really is a transmitter for this Lord Roswell, do try not to tell him important bits of information. I'm sure he'll understand.
Yeah, we kind of already had this weird charade just a bit ago.
Yeah.
Kyrie will give you both a nod. And at this point, I would propose that we move the scene to Bladebeard. What do you guys say?
Yeah, it's fair.
Okay. Let me put the things in order. But while I prepare everything, Bladebeard, I would like to roll for the same things we did previously when you were previously captured by Lord Roswell. Namely, if you remember, he took your gold, and his guards obviously knew to look for the hearthstones that you had. But I would like to ask you to roll sneaky several times to see if he took the other items in your possession, okay?
Oh, but this time I'm not a prisoner, right? I'm just a guest in a dungeon.
Well, you were taken to a prison cell, and he did insist on searching. Well, his guards insisted on searching you. Unless you want to, not let that happen. It's up to you.
Oh, let me remember. What do I even have?
Your weapons, your visible weapons, which are too visible to hide, aka your swords, your hidden weapons, your Corcron helmet, your Seahorn's hat, and if you can think of anything else, yeah.
I mean, I also have a very visible bag with gold pieces and.
If you remember, you threw that bag to Lord Roswell. He
Oh,
ignored
I
it, but
put the whole bag. All right.
Yeah, he ignored it, but it's no longer in your possession.
I thought I just threw the head, but all right. Yeah, I don't have the bag anymore, and he's searching me again. I guess I'll roll sneaky.
Okay.
Sure.
He will take your two swords because they're impossible to hide. But again, I would like to have you roll sneaky for your hidden weapons, your Corcron helmet, and Seahorn's hat, and if you can think of anything else that you would like to hide, okay?
Yeah, I also have a gun, but that's also visible, so I guess they take that.
We can still roll sneaky for the gun, but it will be a more difficult roll. Is that acceptable?
No, they take the gun.
Okay.
Whatever.
Okay. So, what are
Here's
you
my sneaky.
we're going to roll 3 times for those 3 items.
Oh, all right. Sorry then. Don't mind.
What are you rolling for first? Your weapons, Seahorn's hat, the Corcron helmet.
Yeah, let's say my daggers in my beard.
Okay, I will roll a guard. Careful. Okay, they barely don't spot it, but you retain them. Okay, next, let's say Seahorn's hat.
Sure.
Okay, you keep that. Next, the Corcron helmet.
All right. They find the helmet again.
It's impressive how he keeps holding on to Seahorn's head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is more careful about the head than about the helmet.
Sure.
I mean, it's a very important artifact, so that's fair.
They would be easier to hide, but you are lucky that you don't have those Zoroastrian crystals anymore. If Roswell had gotten those, he definitely would know how to use them. But yeah, you, unless you want to object or anything, you would find yourself thrown into prison again. However, I will allow you to roll your careful difficulty 2, let's say, to see while you are being taken to prison if you notice anything while you're being taken there, okay?
Alright. 0.
It's a fancy building,
Alright.
unless you want to spend fate points, but yeah.
No.
Okay. You, once again, go ahead. Somebody want to say anything?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that not like I'm going to get to explore it, so yeah, whatever.
Yeah, you once again find yourself in the prison, in your prison cell for the moment alone. Do you do anything? Do you? Yeah.
I guess I didn't have my breakfast, right? I'm
Correct.
hungry. I'm going to ask the guards to bring me food and drinks.
You hear no reply. Well, at least at first.
Come on, guys. I came here first thing in the morning. I didn't expect to stay, you know. I'm hungry.
You hear a gravelly voice from the other side of the door, which again you cannot see through. Will ask, "What's it worth to you, dwarf?"
Well, I mean, I guess you can take it out of my pay. The cost of the food and drinks.
Your pay is not coming from me. What's it worth it to you?
Well, I don't understand. What
Basically,
do you mean?
Basically, see, he's saying that Lord Roswell is the one paying you, not this guard in particular. And this guard in particular is asking for a bribe in exchange for bringing you food.
Well, your lord needs me. I can't die. He needs me alive.
Roll for me either if you're being sincere, careful, if you're lying, sneaky. And I will roll this person's careful to oppose, okay?
Well, I wasn't really lying, I guess, from Bladebeard's point of view.
Then roll careful, please.
So I guess careful, even though that's worse for me.
Yeah. Well, you will not be disadvantaged if, combat erupts and you're feeling hungry, don't worry. Yeah.
Right? I rolled.
Yeah, okay. The guard sighs in frustration, and you hear footsteps walking away from your cell.
Right?
You, the player, know that you beat the guard, but your character got no reply.
I guess he assumes he won because he's that kind of a character.
Okay.
Or I'm, let's say he says, I don't know, I'm allergic to whatever. I don't know. I was trying to improvise a joke,
I don't
but
know, peace bloom, I don't know.
no, bring me something alcoholic to drink. I don't drink water.
Do you wait?
Yeah.
Okay. After 10 minutes, let's say, you will see. Let me put them on screen. La di da. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? This gentleman, who you are familiar with from your interrogation, as well as, where is he? Yeah, one of the guards. They will both enter your prison cell. The one-handed guy will say, "Step back."
I step back.
And the guard who has both arms brings you a tray of food. It looks fairly miserly, but you've had worse. I will say that you beat him by 3. If you had only beaten him by like 1, he definitely would have spit in your food.
Thank you. Thank you, my man.
Just remember that was Krieg who fed you. Gotcha, dwarf. Gotcha, dwarf.
Yeah, sure.
He will sneer at you, and both of them will like exit the cell unless you like try to stop them or something.
So, wait. How long do I need to be in this dungeon?
My business is to keep you there, not to release you on time.
You, the one-hand guy, do you know?
The one-hand guy replied to you.
Oh. Never mind then. Alright. See you later, I guess.
They once again turn to leave.
I start eating.
Yeah, it tastes badly. It tastes badly, but again, you've probably had worse. It's like some basic bread and water. Yeah, it's some bread and water. The bread is a little bit stale, but not like gone, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I bet is thinking about Benjamin's bread at the moment.
Yeah, I was about to say. Not as good as Benjamin.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm sure the bread tastes especially bad after that.
Yeah. At this point, you proceed to eat. You can consider yourself to be like nourished.
What do I have for a drink?
Plain water.
He takes a sip and immediately spits it out. What are you doing? Are you trying to poison me? What did you give me to drink? Oi!
It's what we all get to drink, dwarf.
What? Water? Do I look like I drink water?
You hear no reply.
Come on, man. I need to drink. I've been drunk for like I don't know, 30 years. If I stop drinking, the hangover is going to kill me. My head is going to explode. Come on, man.
You really think I have access to any wine cellars or anything?
No, it doesn't need to be a good alcohol. Just whatever. Please.
You hear no reply.
I do the same thing that Shalan did a couple of times. I fall on my back and start rolling. And I'm like, rum.
You know, I was gonna compel Bladebeard, but I think he's doing it himself.
Oh yeah, I could have compelled myself. Never mind. He's
Sure.
He's rolling on the ground in pain.
Sure. You get no reply from like the guards, but if you like keep it up after like say 5 to 10 minutes, you'll hear like an annoyed slam on the door and someone yell, "Keep it down already, you dumb dwarf."
He doesn't keep it down.
You'll hear like the same warning again in a more aggressive tone.
Bring me something to drink. I'm dying.
You hear the door to your cell unlock. And you see your jailer once again alongside one of the guardsmen. He looks very, very upset. And the jailer says, "How many times do I have to tell you to shut up already?"
He's just shaking on the ground.
Okay. At this point, Krieg will proceed to jump you and attempt to beat you.
Beat me.
To get you to shut up.
Yeah, I guess I. I'll. I guess he'll try to be quiet. All right. I'll be quiet. All right.
Okay. Krieg gets off of you and spits on you.
I try to dodge.
Well, actually, he can't spit because he's wearing a mask. He kicks you. Sorry. For like one last time.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, he was like kicking me for I don't know, a few seconds, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let's try to steal something from him. Well, he's doing that, if I can.
Yeah, feel free to like pickpocket him if you'd like.
Yeah, that.
Now roll his careful in the meantime.
Which I have a stunt, right?
Yeah.
Called
That you do.
Mood Criminal. I guess +2, so +6. Right?
Well, you don't even need to roll because even if you roll the absolute minimum, you would still beat him with style because he rolled a -1.
Oh, great.
So I can give you like a complete inventory. He has jailer's keys, which you would think would be useful, but there isn't. The lock cannot be opened from the inside of the cell, but you have the option of stealing that. He has like a pouch which you presume has gold in it, and he has a small flask. As well as his axe, but if you take his axe, that will obviously be noticeable.
Yeah. Although he's careful. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I take the flask.
Just the flask?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't. I didn't see any other prisoners, right? Actually, never mind. I don't take the keys. I just the flask.
Okay. You do. And the two of them leave the cell once again. And lock it behind them.
Alright. Can I tell what's in the flask?
If you open it, you do not smell alcohol.
But I do smell... what?
Water has no smell.
Yeah, what do I smell? Oh, it's water.
Yeah. Well, at least a liquid that has no smell.
Oh man. Small flask for water?
I mean, he told you that he doesn't get alcohol rations.
Bladebeard just sighs and I don't know, lays down.
Okay. Do you just like continue to lay down?
Yeah.
Okay. After like about 30 minutes, would you have done anything in the meantime?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. You will once again see this gentleman, Krieg, which you have come to learn his name is, unlock your cell and enter. He will be joined by one of these guys, the usual guard that you have seen, as well as two more people. The mage who placed the mark on you, which you have come to know, and something which I don't think you, Bladebeard, would be familiar with, but nevertheless, here it is.
Yeah, I guess my roll 20 is it's oh yeah, here we go.
On the left side.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the Vrykul.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. They
Towering
enter.
above. Yeah.
Again, can I again ask a question about height? Does he even fit in a dungeon? Does he crawl around?
The door is massive and the prison cell is tall.
Okay.
These people will enter your cell, and the mage will ask you sarcastically, "How are you enjoying your accommodations?"
I need something to drink.
You can have all of the drink in the world if you comply with us for a little experiment.
Whatever. Just whatever you need.
You see the mage smile with her eyes again because she's wearing a mask, and she'll like motion for the two human males, give them a hand signal, and they will like walk towards you with rope in hand.
Why do you need the rope? I'm not a prisoner. I'm a guest, right?
Sure. But we need your aid in drawing your friends in, as we already discussed. And, well, I have a method that will certainly draw their attention.
Wait, but you don't need to really tie me down.
I think it would
You
be
can
best. I think it would be best.
But what if they start fighting us when you summon them?
Do you think
I can help you.
Do you think it really is just the four of us? I have a few other people outside. Trust me, we'll be fine. The two guys will continue to walk towards you with the rope in hand.
All right. I guess they tie me down.
Yeah, they tie you up to like one of the basically they tie you to a wall. I presume there would be like a wooden pillar there in the cell. They tie you to the wall, and the mage will walk towards you with like her characteristic arrogance and haughty speech, and she will say, "The tracker I placed on you and your friend, it can work both ways, and yours and your friends are connected. I wonder how he will react if you're going to scream for us for a little bit." How he's going to react if I...
Well, I guess he'll tell everyone that I'm in pain, which I am.
Precisely. And he will hopefully expedite their desire to come here.
But like I told you, they can't really.
And I'm telling you that they can. She smiles at you.
All right. So what? I just need to scream and I'll get something to drink.
Yes, but we do need to make your screams a bit more convincing. And she will motion to the guard, the one who has two hands, who pulls out a skinning knife.
I'll start screaming before he does anything.
He will still... well, are you screaming sincerely, or as in, are you panicked, or...
I guess I'll try to do the best fake scream that I can.
Roll a flashy, difficulty 4. They really want to torture you.
Since it's a fake scream. I guess flashy. All right.
It is very much flashy.
All right. And my flashy is what? 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What number did I
Four.
need to
Four.
get? 4. All right. Let's see.
I hope Buhd doesn't eat Bladebeard's flesh strips.
I'll wait. Let me see. So I get if I roll all zeros, I get 1. Should I roll or should I?
Well, all
I-
zeros is like the most average roll, if that like influences your
Yeah, yeah,
precision.
yeah. But if I get just yeah,
You need to
so
get
it's
3 pluses for it to be 4, which is the
let
second
me
best
see
roll.
All right, I can invoke my the rum thing because I am actually in pain. And
Yeah, and you are promised rum. That's true.
yeah,
Okay.
I don't know if being a pirate captain has anything to do with screaming. I guess I yell a lot at my crew, yell
Sure.
orders and stuff.
Do you want to spend that fate point as well?
Yeah, let's say I spend 2 fate points to scream very well.
Okay. I will take those fate points then. And
Let's say it's a very girly scream,
Yeah.
just because it's funny. Like
yeah.
yeah,
Sure.
in the machinima version, I guess it's yeah.
Sure. I'm looking forward to a
Alright.
Laurentian girly scream. What can I say? Yeah. You'll see sort of a surprised look on the mage's face, and she'll say, very good, very good. Now, please keep it up, at least until your friends get here. At this point, Bladebeard, I would propose that we switch the scene back to the ship, but I will have you, DoomGoblin Bladebeard, roll your forceful like every 5 minutes, let's say, to see if you manage to.
Forceful.
Basically, it's forceful because you've already made a convincing scream, but the force will be if you manage to keep it up. Make sense?
Yeah. Alright.
And I would have to, after we switch the scenes, roll your forceful every like 5 or 10 minutes to see if you manage to keep it up. And if it will be difficulty, let's say 2 each time, but it may increase over time. And if you can't keep it up anymore, they will say, well, we need screams, so we pull out the skinning knife. Make sense?
Alright, yeah, makes sense.
Okay. So back on the ship with Benjamin, Buhd, etc. Kyrie just asked you to like fix her door, and I presume you guys are doing that.
I mean, to our knowledge, I guess it's just placing the door where it was.
Yeah, also hammering it in if like you pull the screws loose, etc., etc.
I mean, I think Buhd may have done irreparable damage.
Let's do a d20 to see how damaged the door is, I suppose. 20 is good, 1 is bad. Okay, it's fixable, but it will take a little bit of time.
Yeah, I guess we owe Kyrie that.
Sure. The Archmage will also help you guys, even though like manual labor is not her thing. Are you like doing or saying anything while you're repairing the door?
Not necessarily.
I'm sure they could be casually talking about stuff.
Sure. But at one point, you will see the panicked face of Shallan running towards you guys.
Uh-oh.
Do you
That doesn't sound good.
Do you let him approach you guys?
Yeah.
He runs up into you guys and says, "Friends, Bladebeard, he's in danger. He's in a lot of pain. This," he points to the mark on his arm. I think it functions both ways, and it's linked to Captain Bladebeard's. He's in a lot of pain right now."
How are we gonna go do this?
Would Kyrie be able to listen since Shalana is kind of panicked and screaming?
Kyrie is busy in like the backside of her ship, like getting some stuff in order. But if you call to her, she will hear you. She didn't hear Shallan right away. Shallan is sort of in the doorway just outside the quarters.
I'll panic, frantically knock on the under construction door, I guess.
Okay, she will stop whatever she was doing, sigh, and then turn to you with a like very tired expression.
I can do a motion and tell her to get closer.
Okay, she does so. And Shallan, when she sees her, and he will say, "Oh, friend, a gambler, gnome person. Yes, Captain Bladebeard is in a lot of pain, lots of danger." Kyrie seems confused about her gambler designation. If you guys don't remember, Shallan basically called Kyrie a gambler while talking to Buhd to mask the fact that she is who she is in the previous episode. But yeah. Kyrie looks confused at all of you, and she says, and she will motion for you, Benjamin, to lean down so she can whisper to you.
I lean down.
She will say, "I might be able to pinpoint Bladebeard's location with the link, but Khadgar's words still trouble me. What if this is a trap?"
Well, Bladebeard seems to be tortured, so...
On that note, Bladebeard, please roll me your forceful.
Alright, which is +2.
Okay, you
4.
managed to keep up the screen. Okay. Continue, sorry, Benjamin.
It's not like we can have Shallan hear Bladebeard scream still tomorrow. But again, it's always a possibility.
Kai will sigh and like motion for Shallan to like she'll give the shoe motion to Shallan to like go away, so you guys can like talk in private, if that makes sense. Shallan shoots both of you guys a look of concern and fear.
I'll give him a reassuring nod.
Okay, Shallan then goes to wander off, and Kari will say to both of you, loudly this time, "So what do we do? Do we spring this supposed trap, if it is a trap?"
Well, Shallan didn't mention that
All three of you, sorry, I forgot the Archmage is there.
the transmission goes both ways, so I assume they're purposely broadcasting Bladebeard. So it's very possible they're trying to lure us in.
Trust me, I'm not exactly comfortable with the idea of someone being tortured for an entire day until Khadgar shows up, but I don't know, you know Lord Roswell better than I. Do you think this is a trap? And do you think, even if it is a trap, that it's worth trying to save Bladebeard or not at this point, or should we wait for tomorrow?
Being honest, I'm not too familiar with kind of a man he is, but taking into account what kind of people his associates were and the amount of people I saw around his estate, it's very possible that if we bring this trap, we'll get quickly dealt with.
I didn't hear. Who will get quickly dealt with?
Us.
Oh, okay. Kari will sigh in frustration and say, "So what now?"
There's just one thing I don't understand. How are they expecting us to just show up there?
Well, if I had to guess, well, I don't know what you guys talked about while Bladebeard was around you, with the transmitter. But if I had to guess, I imagine they would know that we have at least some magically added people, though I don't know if they're expecting, and she like points to herself, and she will say, if I had to guess, they expect us to go exactly with what I just proposed. Use Shallan's link to Bladebeard to establish Bladebeard's precise coordinates and teleport ourselves there.
So, are you implying they're somewhat aware of your existence, or they assume that Meridia would be able to do that?
Again, I don't know what you people talked about while in proximity to Bladebeard, if you ever mentioned me. But
Well,
Meridia will interject and say, they are aware of at least me, so I presume they might be referring to me. Buhd, you're also in this conversation if you want to like interject.
What was the
Yeah, we can hear you now. What's your question?
what's being said to Buhd or around Buhd?
You guys are debating if you are to go and try to rescue Bladebeard, which I will, by the way, once again ask to roll his forceful. But you are very much afraid that going to rescue Bladebeard right now, before Khadgar arrives tomorrow, will be a trap. But the alternative is leaving Bladebeard to be tortured for an entire day. And Bladebeard, by the way, your scream falters because your throat is sore. And the mage woman will say, "Not good enough, Captain," and will motion to her guards to torture you.
Can I still talk?
Yeah, although your throat is very sore.
Yeah, but torturing me won't really help with that.
It will make you scream.
I'll start talking instead. I'm going to be like, they are torturing me.
And the guy will like immediately jab his knife in you to get you to shut up.
No.
If you start talking, that is.
Oh, whatever I say.
Yeah, because yeah. And their goal is to make you scream a lot and not reveal too much information.
All right. He stabbed me.
Well, he stabs you and begins skinning you alive. Though not not like even if like say they torture you all day, you won't be like skinned completely, but they are like slowly like ripping your finger or something. Make sense?
Alright.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, sure.
I hope we find a great priest.
But yeah, again, Buhd, Benjamin, Buhd, we were saying, should you go save Bladebeard and possibly fall into a trap, or should you wait for tomorrow at the risk of Bladebeard being tortured for an entire day? Tomorrow being when Khadgar shows up.
Yeah, Bladebeard doesn't need his fingers anyways. I won't actually say that. Well, as much as it pains me, I think it's too dangerous to try going now.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Trying to think of what Bud just said. That's fine. But worried about Captain.
So should we go in right now or not? Says Kyrie.
Well, if he's in pain, he could die.
Well, and if we go in and it's a trap, we'll all die.
Well, if Ghostman knows where we are, maybe he can save us if we don't do so good.
Kyrie will say, he doesn't have trackers on us. He just knows that he's supposed to show up here tomorrow.
Hmm. One can't just sit here and do nothing.
Kyrie will sigh and once again say, he is your captain, your friend. The decision is yours. I will support it no matter what. And the Archmage also nods to both of you, as in I'm also here with you.
Would feel like it a good idea to go, but also bad idea to go. What do you think, Benjamin?
Well, I've said what I think. The thought of Bladebeard being tortured for an entire day doesn't please me. But I think we all have better chances if we wait till tomorrow. But again, as you said, there's always a risk for Bladebeard. But again,
But don't want him to die though.
if the majority votes to go, I'll go as well.
But not smartest, but more, Bud.
Kyrie will sort of interject and say, well, if we decide to go now, it shouldn't just bring the four of us. Hergen probably knows the area best, and we should also bring him. And I imagine there's also some capable people in my crew, though obviously I cannot teleport an entire army there.
Do you think it's possible that you teleport?
She will say, it's definitely possible, slightly dangerous.
Well, because it's probably more dangerous if we teleport into his castle directly, since if it is a trap, we'll probably be surrounded or cornered or worse.
Kyrie will nod thoughtfully. Meridia will turn to you, Benjamin, and say, the problem with teleportation magic is that you need precise coordinates. If we reverse track Bladebeard using Shallan, we would have precise coordinates. But if we alter those coordinates even slightly, we might end up 100 feet in the air, 10 feet below the earth. It's impossibly hard to say without knowing the exact topography of the area, to be frank.
Well,
Kyrie will then say, it is possible, but dangerous, as Meridia just said.
Question is, which is more dangerous, being cornered or the possibility of teleporting into a hill?
Well, there's probably a bigger chance that something goes wrong if we teleport directly to Bladebeard, but if we teleport into a hill, we will be instantly dead with no chance of fighting back. Well, I would probably be alive, but you mortals will probably not fare so well.
This gets more complicated by the second.
The Archmage will also sigh, but she will say, well, she will ask Kyrie, if we do teleport in right now, how many people could you bring? Kyrie will think for a little bit and say, probably 6 or 7 at most. It is a long distance, and, well, the coordinates will probably be precise, but not that precise. The Archmage once again turns to Benjamin and Buhd to hear their thoughts.
Well, again, not particularly a fan of teleporting into Roswell's castle, but again, I will accept the majority vote.
Would think it good idea if we go somewhere, we teleport to a location that not the castle then.
Meridia will ask you, Benjamin will ask you, well, let's say Lord Roswell's castle is an inaccessible position to teleport, for who knows what reason. Perhaps it would be possible to teleport to another settlement in Westfall, say Sentinel Hill, I believe it was called. How far away is that from Lord Roswell's estate?
How far away is it?
Maybe like half a day distance on foot.
Well,
Maybe you sent message to Ghostman to meet us at Sentinel Hill?
I could certainly try, but he has a very busy schedule, I'll say that much, says Kyrie.
Well, that's already a better plan than teleporting into his castle, I think.
The gnome will, Kyrie will ask the Archmage, but do you have the precise coordinates for Sentinel's Hill? And the Archmage will smile and say, well, luckily, I had to learn the precise coordinates of the various travel points on my way to Buhd Bay. So yes, the Archmage does know the coordinates of Sentinel Hill. Above board, that is.
Like,
Well, that's wonderfully convenient, and I just sigh in relief.
Well, above board once again, I should say, if you go with the Sentinel Hill plan, it does mean that Bladebeard will be tortured for like half a day.
Well, 5 fingers is better than 0, I guess.
Sure. Kyrie will say, so is this the plan, Sentinel Hill?
I will not.
Kyrie will say, well, I'll be coming with you, I imagine. Well, no offense, but you probably will need my help. I'll leave Grunvask in charge here. Like I said, I can bring about 7 people, so it's the 4 of us, and who else? Again, I would propose that we take Hergen, but I'm open to suggestions.
Bud like Kurgan.
So that's 5 people.
Well, when your crew would be more adept in fighting.
The person among my crew who would probably be the most adept at fighting would probably be Vera. But
I kind of just.
leaving aside your difficulties, she is also a Forsaken, and we'd be teleporting into an Alliance town.
What are we doing about Bud? Bud not Alliance.
Well, I can lend you my orb of deception.
Oh, what would Bud turn into?
Well, as long as it's from the Alliance, it's your choice.
What in the Alliance again?
Benjamin, I will let you know because we established this. The Orb of Deception, it's better to use it to transform into something that's closest to the user's size. So if you were to transform into a gnome like you did before, the transformation would be more unstable and would revert more quickly. And same would be for Buhd to transform into something shorter than him. But that said, he would still probably be able to get like at least an hour or 2 of being something much shorter than himself.
Yeah, then I guess since I know this, I'll probably say, taking into account your size, I'd probably advise you to choose something like a Draenei or a Night Elf, perhaps.
Okay, but remember Draenei have sharp heads. So Bud try that then.
I toss him my orb of deception.
How would this work?
Good question. How does it work?
I imagine it's just focusing on it and focusing on like an image you want to like replicate. It's never been exactly talked about or stated in the lore.
Well, just
It's a very
hold
niche
it
item.
and think of what you want to turn into. But don't do it right now. Leave it for just before we teleport.
I will also remind Benjamin that magic has a tendency of disrupting it. The orb.
Huh, that's also a good point. But I guess I wouldn't immediately think of that. I don't know.
Up to you, up to you, up to you.
I guess not, since I'd be probably more concerned about the fact that if an ogre teleported in Sentinel, he would kind of be troublesome.
Sure. Kyrie will like spring back and say, so we have 5 people, the 4 of us plus Hergun. I would suggest that Shallan stay here. Well, first off, he's not exactly a fighter, and second off, if Khadgar arrives tomorrow and we don't return, he should have at least a lure to go himself to Lord Roswell's estate, if that makes sense.
Well, but wouldn't that give Lord Roswell the information that Khadgar's coming for him?
Well, we already told Khadgar that Shallan has a transmitter in his arm. I imagine he'll be tactful enough not to mention any sensitive information when around Shallan.
Fair enough. But since the noble has met him, perhaps he'll recognize the voice.
Likely, but again, I trust Khadgar's ability to, She will look, Kyrie will look a little bit embarrassed, and she will say, to be perfectly frank, he quite probably is a better magic user than I am.
Well, he is a war hero at the end of things.
You see a small look of pride on Archmage Meridia's face as a member of the Council of Six is stronger than a blue dragon. But she does not like say it out loud.
Well, anyways, we should get to finding more people to take on our little road trip.
As I mentioned, there's always Vera. But again, Forsaken, Sentinel Hill. Though admittedly, we could...
I'm sure we don't.
I could teleport her in after we leave Sentinel Hill by placing a callback, a magical callback on her.
That could be an idea, so that we don't startle everyone in Sentinel Hill by teleporting a bunch of people. So we could just teleport in and just maybe then call Vera and even Buhd, since even if he turns into a Draenei or a Night Elf, I assume it's not something you see a lot in Sentinel Hill.
Also fair. Also fair. I can only do it to one or two people at a time, though.
Well, if we do take Vera, I'd say those are 2 people.
Kyrie will nod and she will say, so we have room for one more person to join us.
But you've talked to a few people on the crew. Any suggestions?
Let me know if you guys need a refresher on the members of the crew.
I think at least. Oh, wait. Wait. This may be a terrible idea, but we got Sima tied up on the mast.
Do you say this in character?
Yeah.
Kyrie will say, I think he would be a very good option if he is no longer in Lord Roswell's employ. Don't you also have an orc prisoner in the ship's brig?
Well, we do, but I'd rather not think about her.
I will also remind you guys that you stuck a goblin in with her, and he's being tortured pretty much for about a day.
Yeah, I think I think it's fine.
Sure.
Well, the orc lady seemed more mad, and but Noran man seemed nice enough, so we could probably have him.
Kyrie will nod, and she will say, well, I suppose that's our 7, though I would ask you to perhaps consider the orc if she's also no longer in Lord Roswell's employ. She might be eager to get some revenge. As an alternative to Vera, if she... No, I'm not going to force Vera, she might just hate you too much to join you.
Well, being honest, I'm not sure we can approach the orc without our throats being slit. And to be honest, I don't think Sima would come if the orc came too.
Kyrie will shrug and say, the decision ultimately is up to you. The collective you, she means, by the way.
Well, then I think first we should talk to Vera, I think.
Kyrie will give you a nod, but before giving you the go-ahead, she will inspect the repairs on the door. How have you guys been doing, do you think?
I'd say she interrupts the repair. Shalom interrupts the repairs.
Kyrie will sigh and say, "But be a dear and repair the door, since you broke it anyway. Benjamin, do feel free to treat with Vera."
Okay, what
just,
fixed door?
just a quick tip, Benjamin. If you try to calm her down, never address her past. Okay?
Uh, okay, but I think she already has enough reason to cut us all. But I'll give it a try.
Kyrie will give you a wink, and then supervise Buhd as he repairs the door. If Buhd does that.
I just take a deep breath before mentalizing myself. I look back at Meridia with kind of a bit of fear in my eyes.
She will almost chuckle at you and she'll say, "Alright, Benjamin, if you need someone to take you by the hand and protect you, I'll be here."
Well, I hate to say it, but I need that.
She will roll her eyes, but you see an amused expression on her. And she will rise up and get ready to follow you, but motion for you to go first and lead the way.
I go first.
And the Archmage follows behind you. Do you go to Vera? You would see her on the deck of the ship.
Yeah, very slowly and carefully.
Are you trying to be sneaky or?
Just not sneaky, but just not.
Non-threatening.
Yeah.
Okay. As soon as she sees you, she turns to you with an angry look on her face and draws her sword.
I just raise my hands and as in yeah, I'm not gonna fight back.
She doesn't charge you, but she just draws her sword and is ready if you attack her. Make sense?
Yeah. I'm just trying to be
Yeah.
as less threatening as I can.
She will say, "What do you want? That was a nasty trick you pulled there." For context, this is probably the angriest you've ever seen Vera.
Well, that's the first time we see emotion again, to be honest.
True.
Again, we're very sorry we had to resort to whatever that was.
I apologize too, says the Archmage. And Vera eyes both of you warily, and she'll let out a sigh and say, "As long as it was warranted and the captain forgives you, then fine, I forgive you too, but why are you here? What do you want?"
Well, after all this, I kind of hate to resort to you, but
Interesting wording there.
but we, as in us and Kyrie, need your help to save Captain Bladebeard from a potential imprisonment and torture.
Vera will say, "If the captain needs me, then fine, I'll be there, but who'll be in charge of ship security while I'm gone?"
I'm not sure I know that much about this ship's hierarchy, but I'm sure Kyrie has someone in mind.
Vera will give you a reluctant nod and say, "Well, when do we leave?"
Well, I'd probably say as soon as we're all ready. I still need to speak with our furry friend over there. So if everyone is ready after that, I'm sure we could leave then.
Vera will say, I'm always ready. Just not for polymorphs. Don't do that again.
Again, we're very sorry.
She will sigh and say, well, you know where to find me.
I kinda nod and slowly walk away, keeping an eye.
She puts her weapon back in the sheath. The Archmage will whisper to you, that went better than I expected.
Yes, that went surprisingly well. I thought I'd come out of there with at least one less arm.
The Archmage will say, well, I imagine she's still a little bit resentful, but apparently she's too loyal to Captain Curry for that. You know, she looks a little bit as if she wants to say something, but like holds back and says, never mind, let's go find a Pandaren then.
I just nod and go towards where we strung him up.
Sure. It's still fairly early in the morning, relatively speaking, so he is still sleeping face first in the ground in the same place you left him. And let me put him on screen in the meantime. Yeah, here he is. Yeah, he's still sleeping face first into the ground.
I kind of poke him with my foot.
He does not stir.
I poke him harder with my foot.
He snores for a little bit but does not stir.
I give him a friendly kick.
Roll a forceful difficulty 2. Okay. He growls for a little bit. And he like lifts himself a little bit so he's no longer face first into the ground. And he sees you and he says, oh, hello, handsome. Oh, Benjamin. What?
Well, how do you feel about paying our former employer a visit?
Now?
Kind of.
Can't I at least have breakfast first? I mean, I will join you, but can't fight on an empty stomach, you know.
Well, depends how fast you are.
Food is something to be savored, not to be thrown away, Benjamin.
Well, I'm sure Bladebeard's severed fingers wouldn't agree.
Pandaren will shrug and say, I don't think I've ever met Bladebeard.
Hasn't he?
I mean, he's been in proximity to him, but the two have never interacted.
Well, long story
I
short,
told him. I'm sorry. I told him about his lord no longer.
Oh, right, you're right.
Yeah, I told him that Lord Roosevelt wants him dead.
You're very much right. Pandaren would still say, well, what happened to him? Why is he there?
well, I think he was planning to sort of double cross him, but kind of just got himself captured. So we're being lured there with his tortured screams.
So you want us to jump into the middle of an enemy trap, fight
Well-
and take Lord Roswell's head?
Well, to avoid falling into his trap, we were planning to teleport to Sentinel Hill nearby.
Oh, I'm almost disappointed, to be honest. That sounded much more exciting, but sure, we can do it your way.
Well, as I was saying, the idea would be get into his estate, uh, save Bladebeard, and maybe try to figure out what this nobleman's deal is.
Sima will like get up because he was still like lying on the ground talking to you. He'll get up slowly. He'll say, "Okay, fine. When do we leave? Will I at least have time for breakfast?"
Well, I look at Meridia for a moment and just say, let's say an hour.
Sima will nod and he will say, "I suppose I'll meet you at the ship's main mast then."
That makes sense to me.
Okay. Hergen will like get up, stretch, and like go in the direction of Nazaga, the cook, to get some food. Meridia will say, "Now we just need to convince Hergen, right?"
Yes, I think he may have another reason to go.
Meridia will sigh and once again motion for you to lead the way.
Is he on deck or?
Yeah, you would eventually find him on deck. I'm just looking to put him on screen. And yeah, here he is. I'll just put him above Kari for the moment. Because of space. Yeah. There's good old Hergen. Do you approach him?
Yeah.
Okay. He, at the moment, was eating his day's breakfast. And when he sees you approach, he puts the plate down next to him and puts his hand on his blade in "I'm ready for anything" manner.
Again, I put my hands up as in I'm not gonna attack you.
Yeah, his hand remains on his blade, but he does not draw it.
I slowly put my hands back down again.
And do you approach?
Yeah.
Okay. Hergen will say, "Well, hello, troublemakers. What is it this time?"
Well, I'd like to invite you to join our little crew to take a trip to Westfall.
Hergen's eyes will go wide and he'll say, What for? What's this all about?"
Well, you remember Captain Bladebeard, right?
Yeah.
Well, he kind of got himself in trouble and is currently being tortured in Lord Roswell's estate, so...
Then he's already dead.
Well, I think the point is to lure us there, so I don't think he is dead yet.
To lure you there? Who are you? Who are you that Lord Roswell will be that interested in you?
Well, I used to work for him, and
Oh,
it
okay.
seems...
No more need be said. No more need be said. Fine. I wanted to take that bastard's head for a while. Maybe get my brother out of his control. And if I imagine if I don't go with you, you people will just not recognize him and kill my brother without my say-so. When do we leave?
Let's say, I don't know,
Are we sailing there?
no, we're teleporting to Razor Hill.
Razor Hill.
Oh wait, what is a Sentinel Hill? I mean,
That will be a whole different story, teleporting to Razor Hill. Okay? Hergen will sigh and say, "Captain Kyrie is involved then. Okay, can't disobey the captain. Who am I to disobey the captain? Okay, an hour will do."
Well, this was surprisingly easy. I
Uh,
guess we should have. I turned to Meridia, sorry.
yeah, I was asking, did you leave Hergen or?
Yeah, we
Okay,
gotta
okay,
get
okay,
away, I guess.
okay. Muriel will say, I was hesitant to speak on this before, but I can't help but remember what the dagger told me. Hergen and Vera, they joined us not necessarily because, well, except for Hergen maybe, but not necessarily because they wanted to help us, but because Kari wanted their help. Doesn't it seem unnatural how she's able to inspire such loyalty?
Well, having known Kyrie for what's been like, what it feels like a while, but it's not really that long. But
Yeah, it's only been a week.
yeah, but it feels like a long time. What can I say? Uh, uh, it's. I'm not sure how else I'd describe her aside from being a very kind dragon, I guess. And seeing that her crew seems to be people from all over, I'd say they perhaps all owe Kyrie something, not in a monetary sense or a servitude even, but just,
You may very well be right, Benjamin. She would then say, maybe I'm too stuck in my misconceptions, but I still find it hard to trust her, to be honest.
Well, I guess with what's happened with you, Teeironor people, again, that's justified. But I see that you are somewhat slowly changing your views, which is something.
Don't patronize me, please.
Not my point. I just meant that, well, we should inform the others of the time we set up.
Yeah. Yeah, to sort of fast forward for things. Is there like a scene you guys would want to happen now, or should we leave it for next time?
I don't really have anything in mind unless Skoll wants to say something.
Yeah. So,
Bud's just working on that door.
yeah. Again, I'm asking everyone. Is there like a scene you guys want to do right now, involving any character you can think of, or should we like leave it for next time? And next time we can start with, oh, we've just teleported to Sentinel Hill, if that makes sense.
That would feel maybe a bit sudden. Maybe have a little
Okay.
scene with everyone coming together.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can have the scene with everyone coming together right now if you'd like. I leave it up to you guys.
Yeah, it's not too late, so I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I can't help but think of like Naruto episode like 110, the Sasuke retrieval arc, and this is like the episode where the team gathers and yeah, we get ready to
I could
rescue
see it.
Sasuke. And Shallan will be Sakura's, having to stay behind him, pleading with you guys, please bring Bladebeard home. And yeah.
Oh wait, Bladebeard is the Sasuke guy.
Yeah. And actually,
Yeah.
both Sasuke and you went to the enemy willingly. There you go.
Wow. I didn't think that the Sasuke retrieval arc would come back up in this.
The third time it has, but yeah. Okay. We can have a scene with everyone. So like an hour later, I presume, Bud has finished repairing the door. Kyrie has just like given Grunvask instructions on what to do with the ship, to expect Khadgar's arrival, etc., etc. And yeah, While she's talking with Grunvask, everyone in the team is gathered near the main mast of the ship. And you also see Shallan on the ship, but he's like keeping his distance to like not be an unintentional informant. That makes sense.
Yeah. Buhd fixed the door.
The NPCs will not acknowledge Bud's comment because they don't they don't know or don't care.
I put my hand on Bud's shoulder as in a good job.
But Buhd gives a thumbs up to Benjamin.
Seema the Pandaren will look around and say, "So this is the crew we are taking to Lord Roswell's estate?" And Hergen will say, "Got a problem with that?" And Seema will say, "Well, I'm just not certain if everyone is capable enough. Lord Roswell is quite a cautious man." And Hergen will look annoyed and say, "I know that better than you do, Furball."
It's gonna be okay. We do things all the time, and we come out all right. So, but think we got this.
Well, we should discuss who gets teleported in later with Kyrie's marker, was it?
Meridia will say it's basically a delayed signal that after a certain time has passed will teleport the target to Kyrie, but she mentioned that she can only do it to 1 or 2 people at a time.
So, with Seema's addition, I think we should perhaps take him with us, but again, he's a Pandaren, so that's probably not something you see every day on Sentinel Hill, so we should be a bit careful.
Seema would say, "If I want to be, I can go unseen. I'm more concerned about..." He points towards Vera, and then he will point towards Buhd, and he'll say, "Very conspicuous in a small alliance town made up of local farmers."
Well, that's why the idea would be to teleport Vera and Buhd with that delayed thing. And then, in addition to that, I've also lent Buhd my orb of my fancy disguise orb, so he'll turn himself into whatever. I'm sure that Vera can seem alive enough from afar, so I don't think that will be a big problem when we're outside Sentinel Hill.
Vera looks slightly offended at the term alive, but says nothing. By the way, would you have allowed Seema to like get his weapons back, etc., etc.?
Yeah.
Okay. And he does so. Yeah. Then Seema will nod and say, "Well, if you believe," he says to you, Benjamin, "if you believe that this can work, then sure. Makes sense to me."
Well, it has to work. Or we're all gone.
Seema will chuckle at that. Okay. And at this point you will see like Gurunvas giving Kyrie a bow and like returning to his duties on the ship, and Kyrie walking towards the group. And she will ask, "Well, I took care of arrangements on my end, and if Khadgar arrives here tomorrow, he'll know where to go. Are we all ready?"
I think so.
Oh yeah.
And she'll say, "So the plan is that I teleport Vera and Buhd in later, correct?"
Mm-hmm.
Very well. And she will, before like teleporting in, she will turn to Shallan and give him like a reassuring thumbs up to like, don't worry about it. But Shallan is far away again so that he is not an unintentional mole. Shallan waves at you guys.
Bud waves back.
Okay? And he gives you a thumbs up.
And Bud returns it.
Okay? Then Vera, or not Vera, Kyrie at this point will motion with her hand to teleport everyone to Sentinel Hill with the delayed condition specified. And I think... Go ahead.
Does she like open a portal like mages do in game?
No, it's an instant teleport like, say, what you would see like in the Ulduar cinematic, to use an example.
I just wanted to remind Bud first of how to use the Orb of Deception.
Go ahead, sorry.
And remember, Bud, just hold the orb and think of what you want to turn into, and then you should turn into that. So, yeah, don't forget that.
A Draenei. Bud got it.
Do you know what a Draenei looks like?
Bud has seen Karados before, he would know.
They got hooves, tails, horns. But remember.
That's close enough.
Okay. Kyrie will smile and, as I mentioned, teleport everyone away. Unless you guys want to have like another scene. I don't know if Bladebeard could have another scene other than being tortured at the moment.
Yeah, just a 20-minute segment of him screaming.
What's going on with Bladebeard? Does he still have all his fingers? And I'm just being tortured, right?
You would have all of your fingers, as in it's not permanent damage, but at the moment they look horrifying and they hurt a lot. But unfortunately you will continue to be tortured because the enemy does not know that you guys are teleporting in, because Shallan is not like transmitting information. So unfortunately, go ahead.
Paul, can I fall unconscious after some like few minutes of torture?
Roll for me a forceful. And according to your roll, I'll tell you how much you managed to resist before you fall unconscious. Make sense?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
1.
Yeah, it takes you like 10 minutes at most, 10 to 20 minutes at most to like fall unconscious. Yeah.
Alright, great.
They will angrily try to wake you up with like water to continue torturing you.
Water doesn't work.
Understandable. Then they will, well, actually we'll see next time, but again, they will probably continue torturing you because they don't have like Shallan's POV that you guys are coming so that they know to stop, unfortunately. Yeah. Thoughts on today's session at this point? It was much more of a setup one than last time, but that doesn't mean it was pointless or non sequitur or whatever.
Well, I just have to say that the Vera situation was resolved much more peacefully than I was expecting.
Again, because she is very loyal to her captain. Doesn't mean that she's necessarily forgiven you, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm just happy to still have my guts in their place.
Sure. I'm sorry to DoomGoblin and to Skoll. You guys were perhaps a little bit sidelined today.
No, no, that's fine.
It's okay. We got some Bud moments.
Yeah. This honestly, for the entire latter half, I was again constantly thinking of like that Naruto episode where they go to prepare to rescue Sasuke. It gave me a lot of vibes like that.
I can see it at least.
Sorry, Thompshire and DoomGoblin. Yeah. Next session will definitely be very interesting.
Or just the whole session walking.
Sure. I'm a little bit surprised that, well, except for you, Thompshire, no, people didn't comment on one of the interrogators that they brought into Bladebeard's room.
Oh, the Aaran Raikou?
Yeah,
Or,
yeah.
yeah.
I was just expecting him to speak and then he didn't, so I kind of just forgot about it.
Yeah, there's
But my curiosity is piqued, let's say.
okay. We shall see in the next session, all things considered. By the way, Bladebeard, during your torture, just for context sake, during your torture, this guy would have been like standing almost motionless, standing guard, not like engaging in your torture, but definitely making sure that you don't like get away. Make sense?
Yeah, he didn't really have time to focus on him.
Understandable. Sorry again.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's my fault that I teleported again.
I was kind
And
of
well,
hoping that you would try to escape when the guards brought you food, to be honest.
I don't know. I didn't know that they would torture me. I thought that that they think that I'm on their side, and I don't know. He's way more smarter, I guess, than I thought. In every episode, I learned that Lord Roosevelt is much smarter than I think.
You guys picked an interesting, predictable, let's say, not in a bad way, but interesting and predictable team. I was again kind of hoping that you would try to convince the orc, and at the very least, to try to get the weasel out of his own torture. But yeah,
No, the weasel is fine where he is.
the weasel will remember that. You get like a pop-up.
It's like Tall Tale.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, definitely a very set-up session. Not that that's a bad thing. Those are still necessary, and I imagine those will also happen in the future if you guys eventually like face off against the big villain and Zulgaga, etc. By the way, Khadgar gave you a few details on like the villain and why the Teeironor haven't like come in force.
Yeah, again, the scale you go for is kind of very scary. Like,
No, I have how should I say? I have plans in mind. And Khadgar did say, well, there's not a lot of demons per se, but there's a lot of fell magic. Well,
yeah, but I kind of meant like the numbers you gave, like 100. Like, it seems a lot, but then the scale you give the world, it's kind of
yeah, 100 is
While
just
in
the
the
members
grand
of Kyrie's crew.
Yeah, and again, that's kind of strange because when you think of WoW, you think, oh, a ship's crew, like what, 10 people?
Yeah, again, I'm trying to go for a more realistic scaling than what WoW does.
Like Anduin not walking to Goldshire.
Well, since that's canon, I'll keep that in, but yeah,
Well, I think there's like conflicting evidence.
to say the least. But 100 demons is, again, not something to scoff at, but it is like, yeah, Khadgar said, oh, there's like 500 in Ashenvale, 1,000 in Desolus. Yeah, not a big concern.
Yeah, but then again, the the troll god is afraid of them and needs the help of pirates.
Yeah, yeah. And that should tell
Oh,
you
yeah.
something that the Teeironor does not know everything.
Yeah.
Feel free to come to your conclusions. Well, I also dropped a hint earlier on when when the Dreadlord confronted Buhd, but yeah, because it was Buhd, and Buhd the character that is not like good at telling complicated details. That probably got lost in translation.
Yeah, I mean it's Buhd. You're not gonna get like. Whenever I portray myself as Buhd, I have to think, okay, what does an ogre like Buhd talk like and portray things as? Oh, magic soap is the Hearthstone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you're definitely doing a good job, and I definitely think it's in character. Rather, it's probably unfortunate that the Dreadlord confronted. Well, unfortunate for like what you guys know of the situation, that the Dreadlord confronted Buhd rather than Bladebeard or Benjamin.
Yeah, I mean, the guy confronted Buhd, and Buhd was like, "I'm gonna shoot with my cannon because I don't like you." So,
So anyway, I started blasting.
yeah,
Yeah.
we can make that a GIF or a meme at some point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely, definitely. Yeah, I'm part of the reason why I was eager to cut things off at that end was that don't have a lot of preparation done for Sentinel Hill, and I don't expect that you guys will linger there for very long, but this campaign is also entirely unpredictable, and I do need to like have contingency plans in place.
Yeah, I do kind of pity the amount of prep work you have to do with all the madness, especially you know what Bladebeard does.
Sure, sure. Well, I was like tinkering with the idea. Well, I will say that, and like a few weeks ago, when Bladebeard first teleported to Lord Roswell, I like went and recorded background footage for Westfall, and I said, you know what, let's record background footage for most of the surrounding zones just in case.
Oh god.
Yeah. Maybe I should have tried to escape. It's too late for that now, I guess.
Never. Well, the interrogators will take occasional breaks. It will just be a lot more difficult. I will say that much. I will like include you in the gameplay of like the next sessions, even if like Benjamin and Buhd etc. don't reach you for a while, just because yeah, it's not like fair to leave you all forgotten. I'll try to think of a way. Yeah.
All right.
But I am genuinely curious, what's going on in Bladebeard's head at the moment? I'm not in DoomGoblin's head, but rather in Bladebeard's head.
Bladebeard, I guess he's furious, and if he ever gets out alive, and he'll probably just brutally murder everyone in that room, or at least try.
Yeah, understandable.
So yeah, he'll be mad.
That is definitely understandable.
Yeah.
I mean, he should be mad at himself for having fallen for that.
Probably. But he'll be madder at them.
Well, I look forward to seeing that. Yeah, and I look forward to Lord Roswell's mysteries and plot lines also being unraveled. I like at least 70% of the prep work I did for today was like bits and pieces of like what's Lord Roswell's plans, and I look forward to those being unraveled if they will be.
It's kind of funny that like when we started this campaign, I thought that like Lord Roswell would like never be addressed, or like if he would like, I don't know, 50, 60 sessions in, but then we kind of just put Buhd aside and, just focus on him essentially.
Well, unfortunately, things have also progressed naturally in that direction. I am looking forward to like returning to the demon plotline because that's obviously important, and Zolgarga is also important. But yeah, things. I will say that the way I generally do things is not necessarily like setting up events or plot lines, although I do think of those. Rather, I have like characters and factions and what their plans are and how would they act and how would their plans change according to you guys, the player characters, decisions, actions, etc. That's most of the way, usually the way I do things. And I will say you have certainly given the demons a field day. They're having quite a lot of liberty in doing things.
Yeah, I hope they're at least having some fun while we're procrastinating elsewhere.
Sure. Yeah. Any other thoughts on Naruto episode 110, or rather today's session?
Not really, I think.
Okay. Skoll, DoomGoblin?
Oh no, not really. It was fun, let's say.
I'm sorry again.
No, it's fine. It was fun. I'm excited for the next one. And yeah.
I don't have anything really else to say.
Okay. Then I propose that we move to our shoutouts then. Again, thank you to everyone for watching and listening to us. This was, again, more of a setup episode, but those are necessary in all TTRPG campaigns I've come to know. And next episode will definitely probably be more exciting. But yeah, I would like to ask our players now to talk about themselves. So going in the usual order, DoomGoblin, could you please go ahead?
Yeah, hello. I'm DoomGoblin. I've been playing Sasuke, I guess. The emo Naruto guy.
You're definitely not
and,
as edgy.
Yeah. Um, and yeah, usually I do art. You can check me out on Twitter at DoomGoblin and some other sites as well. But yeah, this was fun and can't wait for the next one.
Indeed. Next would be the owner of the channel you guys are watching on, Sir Thompshire.
Well, I'm pretty sure you know where to find me, both here on YouTube and as Sir Thompshire on Twitter as well. Yeah, as you know me, I make machinima mainly and post this. So yeah, check out my Twitter as well.
Indeed. And next would be Skoll, who played Buhd, who I would like to ask what Naruto character in like the retrieval arc do you think Buhd is?
Choji.
Makes them sense, definitely. Okay.
I he's the most caring, he's big, and he's great.
Yeah.
And now all I can imagine is Buhd curling up into a ball and rolling over on people.
Yeah, definitely. Sure.
But about me and my channel and stuff, I do World of Warcraft stuff, talking about the lore and speculation on future events or what if scenarios. I also do WoW Machinima occasionally. And on Twitter, you can also follow me on there to see upcoming stuff or just me talking about the game and all that.
Indeed. Thank you. Go check him out. And I was your Dungeon Master, Game Master Teeironor. My links are on screen and in the description below. I usually do Warcraft lore videos focusing on niche topics, though I haven't really had much time to focus on those. And yeah, this episode will come out on the 29th, and the 31st will be my birthday. Yay, I'll probably have like a video out, maybe. Who knows? Yeah. Other than that, thank you to everyone for watching and listening to us. We'll be back next week again on my channel, theoretically. And yeah, thank you for watching, and goodbye, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you.